It is Christ himself who is present in the Eucharist, who is among us. He comes to enlighten us with his teachings and to strengthen us with his body and blood. He comes to teach us and make us capable of loving and living. The prodigal son looked for a life free of discipline and norms, free from God's commandments. So he took his inheritance and left for a faraway country. The faraway country symbolizes a totally different life. The son didn't want to be in the prison of the rules of his house. He wanted to do as he pleased. And at first, he felt happy. But little by little, he begins to experience the tedium. And in the end, he becomes more and more empty and restless. He begins to be a slave. And finally, realizes that his status is lower than that of the pigs. The son begins to reflect on the path of his life of liberty understood as doing what I want, living and having life for myself alone. The son began to ask himself, could it be, perhaps, better to live life for others, to contribute to building up the world and the human community? This reflection began a new path for the son, an interior path. And he began to see that he was more free in his house, where he contributed to building up society in communion with the Creator. This interior path also became an exterior path, and the son returns to his father to begin his life again. His father, who had given him liberty so that he could come to understand what it is to live and not to live, embraces him with love and calls for a celebration in his honor. With this celebration, the prodigal son begins a new life, and in this way understands that it is precisely work, humility, the discipline of each day that brings about a true celebration and true liberty. This son, now purified, has understood what it is to live. Certainly in the future, his life won't always be easy. Temptations will return. But now he has a clear vision that a life without God doesn't work. Since without him, the essential is lacking, light is lacking, meaning is lacking. The great meaning of the human person is lacking. The prodigal son also comes to understand that God's commandments are not an obstacle to liberty and a beautiful life, but rather they indicate the right road to take. The son also understands that work and making a commitment for others makes life better. Precisely this effort to commit yourselves in work gives a depth to life, because we have then contributed to the growth of the world, to an increase in liberty and beauty.